I'm Tony Sklar with bnetTV. I am here at the 4G World Conference in Chicago. I am speaking with Mr. Stephen Cotton from the TM Forum. How are you today, sir?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Such a fantastic conference, and I love this ecosystem so much. So at that, for our seasoned bnet viewers, can you give us a nice overview of what the TM Forum is and where you fit within this vast desert of...
TM Forum is the world's largest organization dedicated to the standardization and best practices in the telemanagement area, with software, systems, processes, and all of those sorts of aspects of management of telecommunication services being our area of expertise.
What causes us to need another forum, another level of policy and control?
Well, there's been a long history for the TM Forum. It came up out of the network management era. There's been an evolution over the last 5 decades in the industry, from simple management of elements to management of networks to management of services, and finally to management of the overall business that is providing those services. And the forum's been there since the beginning, in 1989 when it started, and it's grown to be the largest with nearly 800 members now in 150 plus countries in every discipline you can think of.
So you're definitely getting a wide variety of the entire ecosystem because of all the players globally that are part of your membership. Define that membership a little bit for me, and what are some of the benefits of a newcomer coming into this market?
Well, the membership includes service providers. Of the top 100 service providers we have, at least 80% as active members. There's the vendors of systems that supply both equipment for the infrastructure as well as software support systems. There's the consultancies and the system integrators, and they really range across the globe in every service sector: wireless, wireline, cable, cloud. We even have government and defense initiatives to bring that together. So it's anybody who uses a network, or anybody that operates a network, or anybody that supplies equipment or software to a network really has the chance to collaborate. And that's the side of the organization that I'm involved in, is the collaboration side, a completely member-driven R&D effort that puts out best practices and standards. And in this era, the standards have really become to be seen as the way out of the chaos of high integration costs, too many systems, no interfaces that can be taken off the shelf that all have to be paid for custom. We bring that standardization to a focus.
This is something really, really interesting topic that I want to get into. Who's driving the new technologies, and who's driving the policy and control? Is it the small companies coming in with innovative new technologies that want to be part of the organizations and help create the standards and teach the big guys, or are the big guys coming in saying, hey, we really need to standardize some of these old technologies? Which way does that work?
I'll answer it that neither one. That what's really driving it is the consumer.
Okay.
The consumer is really demanding that the network behave in a way that they find useful for their values, and it's driving both the small innovators and the large providers to adapt the way they deliver their services so that satisfaction of that expectation from the consumer has a chance of bringing them back for return business.
So it's quite important for all aspects of the ecosystem to become members so that they can get involved in, making sure that they're part of the ecosystem and playing in the right manner?
Yes, I've got in my area of the forum is the Revenue Management Initiative. There are 9 different member-staffed and driven groups that cover the whole range of enterprise management, including charging and billing and fraud and risk management and revenue assurance and data analytics, as well as the customer experience management. And those groups comprise about 3,500 people of our membership that actually participate at one level or another in those groups, and they get to influence the standards that are going to be used by the service providers as they deploy these services going forward. And so that's what brings the smallest to the largest in there, is to be in on the making of these things and to have the influence so that they can have the lead time for their products, because the cycle time for delivering products and services has gotten so short, you need all the warning you can get to be ready when it's got to land.
That seems to be a common theme of the people that I've been speaking with as of late, definitely within the last quarter here, that the time to market for new products is just becoming shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. Things are moving at such a fast pace. Even policy and controls through regulators are moving at quite a quick pace.
The regulators really are challenged to keep up because there's so many technical issues. They don't typically come from that background. Some do, but not most. And of course, the subject I'll be talking about today in the Yankee Group Summit on enterprise risk management, the bad actors are every day get up and all day, all they do is think about the bad acts that they can perform. And so they're always ahead of the regulators and the industry. And that's the real constant chase to try to stay ahead of the risk and to manage it so that the consumer isn't harmed and the shareholders have a company left when they're done managing.
So you bring up a really good point. You're going to be speaking about risk management. What are the top 3 mitigation factors that you can put into place when looking at the overall enterprise?
Well, the fraud area is one that's always a problem. It's evolved as the technology's evolved, but still the #1 fraud is identity fraud.
Okay.
It's not technology. There's plenty of technology fraud, but the #1 is either an insider sharing information to allow service to be taken without paying, or false identity and those sorts of things. Somebody buys service, uses it, and skips town because it was a false address. So in the fraud area, those are a really important issue. In the enterprise risk management at the enterprise level, we just issued a guidebook on program assurance. And believe it or not, one of the biggest risks for the service providers is their internal development programs of software systems. Large software systems fail more than they succeed. And by fail, I mean get shot in the head.
Okay.
They don't just get scaled down and take longer and cost more. They get to a point, the largest projects, less than half of them ever finish. Well, that's an immense risk for an enterprise. Cost and time and opportunity.
Cost, yeah.
Opportunity, most of all, with this fast-moving industry.
Sure.
And so we actually just issued a guidebook on program assurance in the enterprise risk management area, as well as the overall risk management scheme of things and approach in our process-oriented use of our product called Frameworks that has a business process orientation. We have an overall approach to managing risk in that environment, but this program assurance is its own governance discipline that we've now put some standards in place to help new entrants.
And these standards, are they SRO driven, or are they a combination of government and SRO?
They're all driven out of the members. I and the staff support the membership. This is not a staff-driven enterprise. It's led, staffed, and worked on by the members. In coordination, we have a lot of liaison with other industry organizations, sure. ITUT, and the TIAs and all of those of the world, so that we don't reinvent the wheel or waste our members' time on things that have already been done, but we integrate them. And the thing that's unique about our situation is we've got an overall blueprint for the enterprise called Frameworks, and all of the work from all of the industry gets put into that context so that it's usable, so it's deployable.
So as a member, you get access to that information, which inevitably is mitigation on its own.
Yes.
That's fantastic. And then, of course, finally, Steve, maybe you can give us a brief overview with what the next 24 months is going to look like for the TM Forum.
The big issues that are coming out now really are how to get the profitability out of this fast-moving industry. There's all of the change and all of the issues that our service provider members are challenged by, what is often called the over-the-top providers like an iTunes or something,
sure.
that rides on their network and gets the revenues they get from their value that they deliver. But the building of that network and the maintenance of it and the bandwidth, like this 4G world where they're going to be upping the bandwidth immensely on the wireless channels, that's not paid for by those people. They just assume
they just sit on top of it.
Yes, and so that profitability without killing the golden goose, so to speak, you don't want to drive the consumer away or not satisfy their needs, and yet you've got to be a viable business and stay in business. And so it's that chasing this breaking out new world of services and capabilities while bringing along your shareholders and having a profitable enterprise to show for it when you're done.
That is fantastic. Mr. Cotton, thank you very much for taking the opportunity to speak with us here today at 4G World Conference.
My
Good luck
pleasure.
this afternoon, and congratulations on a very successful TM Forum.
Nice to talk to you.
Very nice to speak with you too, sir. I've been speaking with Mr. Stephen Cotton from the TN Forum here in Chicago at the 4G World Conference. I am Tony Sklar with bnetTV.